Racing Network, here is Goldsboro's, North Carolina's Alex Hayden.
Daniel Hemrick, with the pole winner, opts to start the race on the outside lane. Green flag goes in the air, and the Hollywood Casino 400 is underway. Here's Ryan Blaney from the second row. Makes a hard left turn. They're looking 3 wide already.
Blaney 3 wide to the bottom of the racetrack before they make it to turn number 1. He'll slide under David Reagan to go to second place. Opens the door for Kyle Larson. They're 4 wide, 1 row further back.
All the while, Daniel Hemrick has scampered away with the lead. They're still 3 wide, 3 rows deep, looking 4 wide off the end of the back straightaway from third on back. That's where Larson inside of Reagan, inside of Keselowski.
At the front of the field is a driver that will be looking for a ride in 2020, but he will lead lap 1 here at Kansas. Daniel Hemrick at the front of the field, right behind him Ryan Blaney, then they're 3 wide further back.
Kyle Larson, bottom of the racetrack, middle of the track, Brad Keselowski, Daniel Suarez up high, challenges on for the lead. Blaney looking low.
Dave Blaney, make that Ryan Blaney, has caught Daniel Hemrick for the lead. Here's Hemrick, 1 groove off the bottom. Blaney's going to put it right to the bottom of the racetrack in 3.
And the third place running car, Brad Keselowski, working the extreme outside lane. So here we are, 2 laps in, 3 completely different lines of racing being utilized by the first 3 drivers.
Welcome to Kansas Speedway. That's how it goes here. Hemrick content in that second groove, leaving the barn door open on the bottom for Blaney. Way up top, it's Keselowski in third.
Here's Blaney. He'll look to the outside on the back stretch. Won't find any room to race there. He'll follow Hemrick back to the corner. Separation for the lead. Put it at 1 car length off the corner.
Right now it is Team Penske running 2-3 with Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. All the while it's a Chevrolet Camaro at the front of the field. That's Daniel Hemrick. I'm watching Kyle Larson right now in 4th and looking for 3rd.
He's going all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Uncharacteristic for Larson. Looking to the inside on Brad Keselowski. They're side by side to the backstretch.
Ford and Chevy wheel to wheel there. The Chevy of Larson to the inside of the Ford of Keselowski. Here's Larson with the advantage. He'll jam it in deep. He'll dive to the bottom, trying to slide underneath Keselowski for 3rd.
And he'll make it happen. It'll be a new 3rd place runner as he looks out the front of the car and sees Ryan Blaney put a challenge on for the race lead in turn 1.
Blaney got a good run through the tri-oval. He'll duck to the inside now on Daniel Hemrick. Larson looking to go 3 wide to the top of the racetrack. Blaney by a nose will lead them off 2.
Hemrick is getting ganged up on right now. Blaney has started the run down low. He is still to Hemrick's left elbow, but now Larson has joined the scene, and here he comes to the top of the racetrack. Kyle Larson looking 3 wide for the lead.
Well, they almost got 3 wide. Ryan Blaney rolled onto the throttle. He'll give up the inside lane. He's also going to give up 3rd and now 4th and maybe 5th. Here comes Daniel Suarez working down to the inside of Ryan Blaney.
Blaney just got a terrible run off turn 4. It'll cost him 3rd and 4th position. Meanwhile, the battle's on for 2nd. Keselowski to the high line.
Keselowski around the outside of Hemrick. He'll take the 2nd spot. Hemrick to 3rd. Blaney now in recovery mode will swing around the outside of Daniel Suarez at the top of 3.
And now Bubba Wallace will move inside the top 5. He'll go to position number 5. His car slips, however, off turn number 4. That opens up the bottom of the racetrack for Suarez to take the spot. Meanwhile, Blaney's back on the charge.
On the comeback trail, he's regained the number 3 spot. Took that away from Daniel Hemrick. A little bit further back, the battle for 6 momentarily. 3 wide, loose coming off 4. It's Alex Bowman. Somehow he keeps it out of the wall.
Well, Chase Elliott had to take evasive maneuvers, and Ryan Newman almost ran him down into the skid pad. Elliott has been able to capitalize, but a very tense moment off turn 2 and onto the backstretch.
Meanwhile, we have a battle for the race lead. A dead heat here at the start-finish line. Ford versus Chevrolet. Keselowski versus Larson.
Brad Keselowski drives it deep into turn 1 on the bottom of the speedway. Way up top is Kyle Larson. Advantage Keselowski. He'll take the lead off 2.
Keselowski's come to life. He'll take the point. Larson back to 2nd. 3rd is Blaney. Wheel to wheel for 4th. Daniel Suarez on the march around the outside of Daniel Hemrick. While closer to the front, here's Kyle Larson again, top of the racetrack.
1 car off the pace further back. It's Ryan Newman. Newman really getting out of the throttle. He'll make the left-hand turn. Unscheduled pit stop for the Roush Fenway driver. Ryan Newman comes to pit road. Meanwhile, the fight for the lead's in front of Dave Moody.
Kyle Larson back to the penthouse. Inches off that safer barrier. Gets a big run off turn number 2 to challenge for the lead.
And they stay that way on the backstretch. Larson with the advantage comes to the entrance of 3 with Keselowski to his inside. inside. Larson to the top, Keselowski to the bottom, side by side for the lead at Kansas.
Well, you got to believe that Kyle Larson loves the opportunity to run the high side around the racetrack, and the same is true for Brad on the bottom, but the advantage will go to Kyle Larson. He's out front now by 2 car lengths.
Quickly pulling away by a couple of car lengths, though Keselowski hasn't given up the battle yet. Both of them beginning to fall back into the clutches of Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney, after losing that ground a few laps ago, has been able to regain it and now begins to go to work on the back bumper of his teammate in Keselowski. Keselowski goes up the banking. Here's Blaney right down on the white line at the bottom of the racetrack.
Here we are, lap number 10 going on the board. I would say the rules package continues to shine that NASCAR has on these cars. It's been a good race, 10 laps in, and it's been fantastic at the front.
Still fantastic at the front as Brad Keselowski has not given up the battle for the lead. He has reeled Larson back in, and he's on his back bumper.
Larson will take his turn at the top of the leaderboard now, regaining the lead, but Keselowski's keeping him at arm's length. And then here comes that Ryan Blaney to make that a 3-man fight for the top spot.
There are 2 good packs of 4 going on at the front of the field. Good racing among them. That first pack of 4, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and Daniel Suarez. The second pack of 4 has Daniel Hemrick, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, and Chase Elliott in it. All of this, Alex Hayden, going on. And like you pointed out, great racing. We're only 11 laps in.
It is spectacular right off the bat. But for the moment, Kyle Larson has a commanding car length lead on Brad Keselowski. Another car length and a half back to the third place running Ryan Blaney. Daniel Suarez is 4th and Daniel Hemrick is 5th, 12 laps in.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, not for sale to minors. Website restricted to adults 21 and over.
Let's be real. Most smokers aren't looking for some overcomplicated vaping machine. That's why we created My Blue. My Blue is simple. Our pre-filled liquid pods mean there's no mess. One charge and My Blue lasts all day. And with our range of flavors and nicotine options, you have a choice. My Blue answers on what matters for smokers. Real nicotine satisfaction. And right now, try My Blue for $1 at select retailers or myblue.com.
Hey guys, Corley Joy. Join me and my friends Lauren Fox and Daryl Ma on the Sunday Money Podcast as we talk racing.
Listen, a lot's happened. We talk about the race and your spectacular 6th place finish.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Daryl, maybe you should start off by telling us why you weren't here last week.
And just life.
What is the biggest difference this week? Because you look a little more pregnant.
I found out I have a 3rd nipple.
It's Sunday Money on MRN.com, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts.
There's our next promo.
Race leaders now beginning to enclose and put laps on some back markers. Timmy Hill, Joey Gase, they both go a lap down. Kyle Larson continues to show the way over Brad Keselowski. Now Daniel Suarez has rallied up to the 3rd spot. Ryan Blaney is right on his back bumper in 4th, and Eric Jones now being shown inside the top 5. 14 laps complete from Kansas Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The 1993 Cup Series season had more than its fair share of twists and turns.
Checkered flags waving. I look in my mirror, and here's Earnhardt right on my tail, and he goes down low to pass me. And I said, oh, no, you don't.
As Wallace spins, Wallace's car goes on its nose.
Here's stories that you've never heard before in a 10-part series called The 1993 Season.
And Davey was behind me, and we came off the corner, and there's a guy standing in the middle of the racetrack.
You can download it for free on iTunes and at MRN.com right now.
Join Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Get the latest news and exclusive interviews from the biggest names in the sport.
But I mean, I don't know how to summarize it any better that, a driver's home track where his family and friends are all present just feels like a bigger event.
Hear the thoughts and opinions from NASCAR insiders and much more.
I mean, when people come up to me all the time and say, hey, Rusty, who's going to win this week? I consistently say the 4 car.
It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday evening at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
No change with the players at the front of the field. However, the gap between 1st and 2nd was 1 car length that has grown significantly to 0.8 of a second. Now, other things have been taking place. We mentioned Ryan Newman made an unscheduled pit stop. The driver who started 2nd today, David Reagan, he too made an unscheduled pit stop. As a matter of fact, he's just pulling off the pit lane. What's the latest on David Reagan?
Well, he hit the wall, it appears, and had some sort of tire rub on the right rear because they came down and that right rear was flat. The crew was working on the right rear wheel well as the right front wheel well, and went ahead and just changed right side tires and sent David Reagan back out. So costly mistake and a bummer because he obviously had that great starting position outside the front row.
And that's Dylan Welch with an update on David Reagan, who led the field up along with Daniel Hemrick up there in the front row to the green flag now 19 laps ago. While it's calm, why don't we run you back through at least the top 10. Kyle Larson, like Alex Hayden said just a moment ago, probably a 10-plus car length advantage over Brad Keselowski. Brad's got 10 back to Daniel Suarez. Good run early on for him. He is third. Ryan Blaney, a winner a week ago at Talladega. He's fourth. Eric Jones right now in the Toyota is fifth in front of his teammate Kyle Busch, who is sixth, followed by Chase Elliott. Martin Truex Jr. is eighth. Daniel Hemrick, the pole sitter, has slid back to ninth. Kurt Busch right now completes the top 10. 20 laps are complete.
We'll get you back to the action on the racetrack, but first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network is live at Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas for the running of the Hollywood Casino 400, the final race in the round of 12 before we move on to find out which 8 drivers will then go compete to try to go to the championship round at Homestead Miami Speedway. 3 different leaders have swapped the lead 3 different times. Brad Keselowski has led the most laps to this point in the race. He has led 15 total laps here, make it 16 now, or 15 out of the total 21 laps. Alongside Jeff Striegel, I'm Alex Hayden. Dave Moody is in turns 1 and 2. Mike Bagley is over in turns 3 and 4.